What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Guys, we got an interesting one here. Somebody actually sent this or added this to my one of my playlists. I do have playlists. You can add videos. I might have to put it under in the description. I think it's on some of my old videos, but shout out to whoever put this in the playlist. But Scandinavia made me question everything about safety. This is from Meg Duper. I feel like I'm saying that last name wrong, but Meg believes she's currently living in Norway. So this is always cool, but doing a little bit more on Norway. As y'all know, I've done Alt versus Norja. One of my favorite. I'm actually gonna get back to that. That's one of my favorites. It's the same as Alt versus Feria, but the Norwegian one. One of my favorites. I love it. I love the Norwegian one. Little lit on those. But yeah, safety is a huge thing. As y'all know, I'm an educator, so even working in school, like we used to practice tornado drills, fire drills, and nowadays we have to practice, lockdown, lockout drills, for the sake of pew pew that will enter into the school type of thing. So and not just schools used to be and supposed to be one of the safest places. So but let's check out Meg. Make sure y'all subscribe to her channel, like her videos, all that stuff, man. But let's check it out.
When I first moved to Scandinavia, I thought the biggest adjustments would be practical. Coming from Florida, you might naturally think,
okay, Florida.
Weather. Also, of course, the language. However, I did not expect it to be so neurological. I'm an American and I've been living in Norway for 5 years now. I love learning about it. I love talking about it. Obviously, it's what my channel is about. Yeah. And I realized that some things inside of me have shifted. I talk about many of these small shifts in these videos, but today's video is specifically about trust and safety. Not in a I trust my friends way, but in like a societal trust type of way. But I didn't know how much of my personality was shaped by this assumption until I moved somewhere that runs on an entirely different one that I grew up with. Everyone talks about the stroller thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Scandinavia and the stroller thing. I actually think it's such a great example of social trust in Scandinavia and a great starting point for my emotional reckoning. We've all seen it before. The pictures of the strollers sitting outside the cafes. Yeah. Babies are napping in these strollers in the cold air.
I still remember my first time hearing about that. I was like, what? Just because it's not a typical thing, just not a thing that you will do, because somebody will first just think you're abandoning your child, just leaving them out while you're going in there. So that's just the first one, just outside looking in, somebody's just going to assume that you're abandoning your children.
Parents are inside grabbing a coffee like this is the most normal thing in the world. And what caught my eye wasn't this lack of fear that the parents have for their babies. It was that same lack of fear in everyone else on the street. And I realized that I was the only one scanning, looking around, right? Like it wasn't even a conscious thought to these people, but it was muscle memory for me. My brain did what it does in public spaces, which is assess who's lingering around here, where are the exits. Now, I didn't grow up in chaos. I grew up in a relatively safe environment. I grew up in a normal American town, but normal for me included this kind of low level of vigilance. Lock your car, don't leave your purse unattended, just don't be careless. But then the stroller became background because I noticed something else. The diaper bags hanging off the handles.
Everything.
And that detail did me in. Because leaving a baby outside, I guess, can be framed as a cultural norm, right? Fresh air, independence, Nordic hardness. Fine, I can conceptualize that. But leaving the bag, the wallet, the extra clothes, the small, easily transferable objects that could disappear in seconds. And then I was like, these people assume that the other people walking past aren't gonna exploit the opportunity to steal something simply because it exists in front of them. And, life goes on. But I slowly began noticing.
Because I even know, like, I've seen, especially in Norway, I can say too, there's a lot of stores that they don't have cashiers, just because it's just a honest, a trustworthy system where go in, pay for your stuff, and just get out without taking extra things, you know. And like I mentioned in another video, like I'm in Texas, so it's just one of those things. Like if each state kind of adapted it, like could we get the whole country? That would take a lot. But each state could start practicing certain things to make it a norm, you know, because like I said, growing up in schools, we did tornado drills, fire drills. Because of all the school shootings and all that stuff, a new norm is us practicing lockdown drills, lockout drill. So we had to add something to make it look normal, to make it normal, which is like that's totally not normal, you know, to be in school and you have to fear for somebody to come in and do what they do.
This wasn't an isolated behavior. It was a pattern. Another example would be I would go on walks and I would see a hat placed carefully on a fence post, a dropped scarf folded over a mailbox. At first you don't really realize it, but then I was seeing the same gesture over and over and over again. And not only that, but I would see the same hat on the same fence post just sitting there for months. Someone loses something, a stranger finds it, the stranger doesn't keep it, they elevate it. They assume that this person is going to come back later and look for it, so they pick it up and they make it visible for them. And in the environment I grew up in, a lost object meant risk. It's carelessness, and carelessness has consequences. And of course, there's truth in that. But here, carelessness was met with a kind of communal buffering. Just this simple act of, hey, I saw that you lost this, so let me just put it up here in case you're looking for it. Now, moving past hats, something much bigger that I noticed.
Usually we have lost and found, so you know, you put it in the lost and found, or I mean, I don't think we have a community lost and found, but just speaking at a school perspective, you know, if somebody lose something, hey, somebody left this. All right, just put it up there and let's just wait. You know, well, on the outside world, people either take it or deem it as trash or something.
That's much more built into the structure of things here, is that public transportation in many places across Norway and including its neighbors, Sweden and Denmark, they often operate largely on a honor system. You buy your ticket, you get on the train. There is no physical gate stopping you from walking onto the train. You can walk onto the train without a ticket. There might be a random ticket inspection, but the framework of
I'll tell you, I had a ticket when I got to Copenhagen, but I got on the wrong train, or I got on the right train just at the wrong time, and that's what got me, because they were like, hey, your train wasn't supposed to leave until like 11 something. And I got on the earliest train that was, because I think I made it to Denmark around like 9 or 10. And I think I got on a train that was like an hour before my actual train left. But, you know, they didn't kick me off and be like, hey, dude. They were just like, hey, just move to these different seats and I'll get you to where, you know, very nice, very kind. Because they obviously seen like, you're definitely not from here. And this looked like this is your first time, you know. Same with when I actually was staying in Denmark, got on like one of the trams, and you know, I was on public transit. There was nobody there, but I was just like, let me still get my ticket just in case. And it just so happened one time, I think I was heading back out the next day, and a lady got stopped because she didn't have her ticket, and one of the securities was actually on it that time.
The system is not built around suspicion, it's built around expectation. We expect you to pay for this train ticket. And to me, that sentence carried psychological weight. Because to me, when a system is designed around people being dishonest, it communicates something very specific. We do not trust you. And when a system is designed around the assumption that most people will comply, it communicates literally the exact opposite. We trust that you're going to do the right thing. And the wild part is that people respond accordingly. I found myself feeling oddly proud the first time that I bought my train ticket. And it wasn't about avoiding a fine. I didn't even get stopped. No one talked to me the whole time I was doing it, right? But I was participating in the norm. I didn't want to violate something that was obviously working well. Like I said, I didn't even get checked, but there was this sense of, yeah,
let me do the
I
right
did that.
thing.
What unsettled me the most wasn't that Scandinavia has high trust. It was realizing how much distrust I have. I used to think that being slightly guarded was simply just being realistic. And to be fair, I don't think that being cautious is foolish. There are reasons different societies evolve different norms. Context matters, history matters, scale, of course, matters. But I began to ask myself a sort of uncomfortable question, which was how much of my guardedness was actually protection and how much of it was just habit. Living here has slowly dismantled some of that habit. I noticed it first at night, walking home from the train station only to realize that I wasn't rehearsing emergency scenarios in my head. And it's of course not that danger has ceased to exist. It's the baseline expectation that has shifted. And I don't think it made me naive either. If anything, it made me more observant, just in a different way. I started noticing how trust, this is gonna sound super just like obvious, but I started noticing how trust creates these circles of good, right? When people assume good faith, others are more likely to act in good faith. And the deeper realization I had was more about my identity. If you grow up in a low to medium trust environment, you learn that your own competence is measured through this level of caution. You prove that you're not gullible, and you show that you can navigate risk. Here, that seems a lot less necessary. If everyone around you is operating on this baseline goodwill, constant defensiveness reads very disproportionately from other people around you. I remember being at the library once and asking how to get my stroller upstairs because there was no elevator. And the guy was like, you just leave it down here. And in my head, I was like, what? You sure?
And I know that's just one of those things. But like I said, if everybody is following that same trust system, that means the safety is security. The security is there. Oh, we're going to take care of you. That's just like here, you send your kids off to school. You trust that the teachers, the principals, everybody are going to take care of those children, because of course the kids outnumber the amount of staff there, but there's a trust there knowing that, hey, they're getting taken care of while I can go handle my business, go to work and all, so it's like sometimes we practice those type of things within school. But outside of school, that's where it gets a little, because even when her mentioning just walking around, I was walking around Sweden and Denmark 2 hours away from where I was staying at, and nobody bothered me. Nobody did anything. I wasn't worried. Like here, I won't have to worry if I'm walking that I don't get hit by a car because somebody's not paying attention because there's so many cars out. So it would even be like I have to be cautious of another person. I have to make sure somebody's paying attention and actually see me walking. That's the caution.
There's a lot of people down here. And I had to honestly sit with that. And I don't know why this is such a defining moment in my head. And maybe I'm literally just cynical of people and the world, but I have to ask myself whether my cynicism is insight or if it's just this wall. There's something weirdly disarming about coming to a place where the default thought towards strangers is neutral to positive rather than neutral to defensive. It forces you to recalibrate your internal narratives about strangers. Now, I don't want to romanticize this. Scandinavia has crime, it has inequality, it has social tensions and blind spots and real problems that deserve serious attention. High trust did not appear out of thin air. It's historically and culturally constructed, supported by their relatively strong welfare systems and lower income inequalities compared to many other countries. But living here has given me the opportunity to think about these things. I've experienced what it feels like when a society assumes cooperation first. So full circle. The stroller outside the cafe isn't the story anymore. It's kind of the symbol of the story. And the diaper bag left hanging is not recklessness, it's a quiet vote of confidence in humanity. And I don't know if I would have believed that vote before living here. Now, I still lock my door. I still have instincts shaped from where I'm from, but there's more space in me now. I have less automatic suspicion, more curiosity, more willingness to assume that most people, most of the time, are simply trying to get through their day without harming anyone else, just like I am. And not only do I now apply that here, I also apply it more when I go back to the US. Let me know down below what you think. Perhaps I'm just cynical and jaded and guarded, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Like 80-something% of you guys that watch these videos are not subscribed, so please do that. It's easy and it's a free way to support me and my channel. Now, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.
No, this was good. I actually enjoyed this. This was real good. Very informative because, you know, I've seen all the Scandinavia, Nordic country videos of the babies in the strollers. Like I said, that will spark a lot of things. You know, just seeing babies out in the cold in general, people here will go crazy over that. So, but no, this was good. This was real good. Like I said, I just now being able to go to Sweden, go to Denmark, I got to experience some of these things. Even for a short period of time, I still got to experience most of these things with transportation, seeing things like I told y'all. If y'all seen my Denmark videos, I mentioned when I was in Denmark, public transportation, there were like a bunch of kids on there with like 2 chaperones, 2 teachers maybe, because, you know, it's summertime. But it was like 20 kids, 2 people. And I'm guessing they were just going to the mall on a field trip. They was on something. It was after school program or something. But I just seen 2 people and like 20 kids hop off. You know, here, you know when it's something because we have the big yellow school buses. So that's when nobody was expecting nothing other than, oh, it must be a school trip. We had the big yellow school bus. But this is like 20 kids just got off the public transportation. And it's 2 people that are just with them. You know, so I was like, oh, cool. Then the ticket thing, you know, I was just being honest, having my tickets ready, having certain things ready just because I'm like, I'm new here. It's my first time here. You know, I'm not from here. So especially I just respected the culture, respected the countries just because it's like, I'm not from here. I can't go there acting like I just know the place. You know, I've seen a lot of videos and stuff, but I wasn't going around just acting like I just knew how to do everything. I asked questions, people helped. So it was good. It was a good experience to where I definitely want to go again. That's how good my experience was. But yeah, Meg Duper, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to her channel because this was real good. I enjoyed this. Hope y'all did as well. I do got Google Forms. I got Discord. You can see that in the description. But other than that, y'all hit that subscribe button and y'all be blessed, be the best, and be you. I'm out.